It's time to get excited because we've got another little culture war on our hands, another little episode of the culture wars. Um, just adjust that. Um, Yumi Stynes has she's on the project a while back, and she's written a book, an educational book about sexual stuff, and it's aimed at kids 11 to 14, maybe 12 to 15 is the age bracket Big W was selling it as. Uh, Yumi Steins is a bit of a drama. They were cookers, as they called. A few of the sort of wacko, right wing wackos have been harassing staff at Big W, so it's online only. Number one seller now on Amazon. A lot of people buying it now. I think Dr. Kang is the co-author with Yumi, and she's the Dolly Doctor. Dolly magazine, sort of for young girls. Not sure if that's still being published. It was back in the 90s. I do remember that. I don't know. I kind of want to discuss too much what's in it. Seems a little bit off to me. I don't know about this. Um, it's supposed to be educational, but some of the things she supposedly said are a little bit off. About sexting, telling you the kids you can do it with your just don't put your head in the shot. That's very dangerous. I think the Victorian e-safety woman, I saw a screenshot on Twitter. That's really bad advice. I think she said. Um, other things are a little bit off. So I don't really dig into these cultural stuff issues too much. Too toxic, and they don't really interest me a whole lot. A lot of it. I don't know. And some guy, Primod, I think his name was, some big oath, with a bunch of kids, social media influencer. Uh, Tom Tanuki, chief content producer for Antiver Australia, he's done a video. And I sort of was a little bit anti in those comments. Left a comment there. A lot of the Antifa people just would just support anything. You know, if the wackos, sort of magatard and conservatards, go crazy about something, they've got to take the opposite view and just defend it. And I made the point a few weeks ago on Twitter. You don't have to, in regards to the queer stuff, you don't have to defend everything. Being an ally doesn't mean you have to defend everything. So I don't know. See if you sort of some of the pornographic cartoons in there, if you sort of went and showed them to like 11, 12-year-old girl. Yumi said this. I saw the screenshot. Maybe a precocious 8-year-old maybe could read this book. And, if I went and showed this sort of stuff, walked into the school playground, went up to an 8-year-old girl and just showed her that and asked her about whether she does that sort of thing, I think I'd be arrested, wouldn't I? I'd be around the corner in Silverwater. That's not just a few minutes drive from where I live, up Silverwater Road. I'd be in there for a thing, and rightly so. So I don't know about the educational angle for kids that young. Who wants to do these sort of filthy things with 11, 12-year-old girls? And it seems mainly girls it's aimed at, really. Mostly girls. That's the most the main the main audience, sort of 10 to 15, 11 to 14. The Big W website, like I said, is at 12 to 15. Yeah, I don't know about that sort of thing. I don't know about you really need to ask 12-year-old who's doing this to 12-year-old girls. It's sort of a bit of a parental problem. That's what the Antifa guys are ignoring. It's kids just doing anything and everything. Um, Maybe there seems to be a bit of a parental control problem. They say kids do this sort of thing, and occasionally they do. Don't want to go into that. It wasn't my thing because I was sort of not interested in the women being the Asperger's. I don't know. I was more interested in sort of throwing a football around. Maybe I was sort of a bit more sporting, a bit fat, but I was never really interested in the women. It's still not really. Um, so I don't know. It's not my experience. Of course, people have different experiences. I don't know about this. I don't know why you defend it. It's not really too much of a drama because they're selling it online now. They've taken it out of the stores. Not sure if any kids, too many kids saw it in the Big W or Dimmicks. Parents are ordering it online. That seems like a fairly decent compromise to me. I don't know. All this nonsense that goes on now. The culture wars, you just hate it, don't you? Um, I mean, Dolly. I just do remember that some of the things that Dolly uh, published for sort of young girls, probably 10 to 12 mainly, I think, 13, 14, that age group, underage age group for girls. It was a bit of a controversy back then. Um, some of the things that were published in there for young girls, probably 10 to 14, caused a little bit of a kerfuffle. People forget that. And it is different to, the mummy and daddy making a baby, sort of basic, sort of facts of life sort of stuff, cartoons and the like, educational. This is very different. The Antifa people are saying it's the same thing, but all this really dirty sort of recreational um, play stuff is different to the basic biological stuff about procreation and the like. They just don't get it. The Antifa people just don't get it, and it's just sort of playing into the hands of the crackpots that are making a drama about it and creating online sort of clickbait, looking for to make a few dollars out of it. Harvey Yemeni, that bloke, and this Primord bloke didn't know about him, wouldn't know him from a bar of soap until he was mentioned a couple of days ago. And he's in Tanuki's video. There's probably a few things I say about this, a bit more say maybe, but I don't know. They're sick of this nonsense, aren't you? Just garbage, transgenderism, and Albo's voice garbage. Stuff that people aren't interested in. There's a story I was told about Australians aren't buying cleaning products and deodorants and that, just wallowing in their own filth. Millions of Australians wallowing in their own filth, and Albo gets on Ben Fordham. The love affair the AFA guys had with Ben Fordham is very much out the window. They've turned on him. He was talking about cookers. But we're wallowing in our own filth. A lot of us, millions probably of Australians, dirty. And talking about Aborigines and transgenderism and this sort of garbage, it's something for the bougies to talk about. I don't think the average person is that interested in it.